Hey, I'm Robert Bruin of DC Media Group. We're here with
Hassan Manning, PTA President of Maple Avenue School in Newark.
And I'm Elaine Wooten, also DC Media Group.
Okay, we're here in Newark, New Jersey to discuss with Hassan the school closings here in Newark. How many schools were expected to be closed?
Well, the rumor is about 30.
30.
Yeah.
And is
I'm
it
not-
all charter conversion? I mean, they're going to open an equivalent number of charters, or?
That I'm not sure of. Everything is just so up in the air. Nothing has been solidified, but we just hear rumors of about 30 schools being closed.
Kids got to go somewhere.
They
So-
have to, but they better go somewhere.
Yeah.
You know.
So what can you tell us about the organizing that's happened over the past couple of weeks?
Well, the parents at the PTA and the parents at Maple Avenue School has decided to start a petition because we just feel like what's happening is not fair, it's not right, and we just have to take some type of action, you know. And we knew that people that are in our neighborhood have the same sentiments as we do. You know, this type of bullying is not wanted. It's just not wanted by anyone, you know, and we're going to make a difference by getting all of our neighbors, all of our community, all of our taxpayers together and make a little bit of a noise about that.
Yeah, we should clarify that what the rumor is that they're going to shut down the Maple Avenue School and convert it to a charter. So they're going to be bringing kids from somewhere else to the community school and taking kids from the community and putting them somewhere else.
And on top of that, the rumor is that the school itself, this school, is going to be converted into a school for pre-K3, pre-K4, which is not in the right, you know, conditions to be for kids at that age. So
the petition drive.
yeah.
What else is going on? Student organizing?
Yes, there's a student organization that we are in process of locking arms with right now. You know, you can do more work with power of numbers. You know, so we're trying our best to lock arms with other organizations so we can make a bigger noise.
Right.
You know, yeah, that's what's happening at the moment. But beyond the petitions, you know, with the petitions rather, we're doing one universal one. We're starting a universal petition, not just save this school, save that school, save this school. We want to save all of Newark Public Schools. So that's what our petition is focused on right now, to really have that type of impact, to save the whole entire district. Not just one school specifically, because at the end of the day, we're all under that umbrella of Newark Public Schools. So that's what our target is right now.
Okay.
So this school has I mean, you obviously already had a PTA in place.
Yeah.
I would imagine that this is going to get people going to start participating more?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, because, you know, when something this drastic is happening, you know, people come out in droves, and that's been happening. So we've given a lot of support from parents. So, and the community too. Community leaders that are stepping up and helping us, and it's just wonderful to see, you know, everyone cares this much for the children's education.
Yeah, that was
You know?
one thing we talked outside before we came in, and I was saying, you know, if somebody thinks their school might get targeted to be shut down in a year or two, the first step to do is just try to get everybody to join the PTA,
Yeah,
so you've got that in place
Exactly.
when you need it, because you don't know, and you might as well, you know, if people come and
Build that relationship now. You know, build that relationship with the parents and the school, and just, you know, mesh now when you have the opportunity, you know, because you, like you said, you don't know. You don't know, and if the state is controlling schools, anything can happen.
Now, how about the teachers' union in Newark? Did they
I'm
fight?
not sure about.
Okay, we have to find out whether they're fighting the They should be fighting the closings because they have to fight for their jobs.
Yeah, I'm not sure about the teachers union, though.
So you mentioned state control.
Yeah.
How long has the state been in control of Newark schools?
Well, it's been over 20 years, from my understanding.
Has there been any improvement?
Say it again?
Has there been any improvement since the state took over?
I would say no, but, you know, people have their own opinion about that. And that's another thing we're focusing on. We want to have local control back in our school system, because that way the people are able to vote in or have a say-so about who's in charge of their schools. You know, when you have the state involved, you're at their mercy. Anyone can come in and dictate what they want.
Yeah.
You know, and we don't want that anymore. We want to be released of that.
So you roll that into the petition, or make it a separate request, or what do you think?
Well, at the moment, we're focusing on not closing the schools, but with that, we want to make a bill that should be passed by legislators, and that can hopefully open the door for state not being so involved with us.
Yeah, it's something we should look at is you know, why that happened originally and why it hasn't been undone. We can write about that. Probably useful to people who are following the story. It'll be interesting to them to know that.
So the situation that you're in
Yeah.
sounds almost identical to what's happened in Chicago. CTU, Local 1. Have you been in touch with other cities about how to go about confronting it? Because I believe that Chicago has had some success in preventing school closings.
Oh, and more importantly, Chicago got national media, so whatever the heck they did,
They got national media.
it'd be good to know.
Yeah. No, I know I personally haven't reached out to see how they overcame that, but thank you. I will as of today.
Yeah, we followed that like crazy. We put up a website and started a Twitter account just specifically to address the Chicago closings, and that. So we have that in place. So now to cover the Newark closings, we'll just roll that and start to cover your stuff with that account.
Yeah.
But we followed the Chicago stuff pretty closely, but it was pretty radical
Oh, yeah.
protests.
I
mean,
believe
the
it.
people were mad.
Yeah.
And one of the big issues there was the level of violence in Chicago. And so what they actually did is they went through and calculated if the kids are going to have to walk 20 blocks instead of 2 blocks to get to this other elementary school, how many violent crimes are happening every year in that area? How much at risk are they going to be because they're walking those paths?
Right.
And that, you know, I don't know what the crime level is here, but that kind of information is useful to the community.
It's important because actually at one of our meetings recently, a parent kind of said that. She's a parent of an 11-year-old boy, and she was talking to the person that was facilitating the meeting, and she said, listen, I have an 11-year-old son, and can you guarantee my son's safety from my doorstep to the school he's going to, back to my doorstep? Where he is now, this is his house, the school is right there, directly across the street from the playground. So now this kid and other kids in the community are being threatened of being snatched away from that and have to go to other parts of the city to go to school. And on top of that, they're not getting any funding for that. They're not giving them any bus tickets, no transportation, no free school bus to pick them up. So now it's get them there best way you can. Parents that have to work, you know, it's a domino effect for people's livelihood. You know, parents that work have to work at 9 o'clock in the morning, have to find a way to get their kids to go to someplace across town to get to school, as opposed to walking 2 steps away.
Yeah, I think that's definitely something you want to raise. And I know that when the school year started this year, within the first week there was a shooting within blocks of the kids walking to school.
Yeah.
So that kind of information, that's what happened in Chicago, that people said there was going to be violence. You know, these kids were going to be more vulnerable to at least witnessing violence.
Absolutely.
That you can go back and say, you know, people in Chicago said it was going to happen, and then it happened.
Yeah.
And if you do it here, we're telling you it's going to happen, and we already know from Chicago that it's going to happen.
Well,
and you don't want to do that. You want to use those scare tactics, but the thing is, they're kids, right? They're
exactly.
kids, and you want to keep them safe.
Well, it's a reality here in Newark. This year, I think it's a historic number of
it's a
murders.
big number.
104 murders here in Newark. More
We
than
hate
any
to do
other
that,
year.
but if that's the reality, you're going to have to raise it.
But the thing is they're doing this without the approval of the community. You know, all of these decisions that these suits are making, they're not getting the community's involvement. And by law, one of their laws said that before you make a decision this way, you have to let the community know what's going on or get their vote on that, and they haven't. You know, parents, community, teachers that live in the community, students, this just came at us as like a little snake and just bit us. You know what I mean? It just came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
You know, and to say that you're for the children as the head of our educational system here in Newark, to say you're for the children, but yet you take away programs from after-school programs from them, and on top of that, you take away an amazing force, the truancy. I don't know if you guys know what truancy is, but truancy is a force, it's a task force that picks up children from off the streets. If they're supposed to be, if they're school age and should be in school during school hours, this force comes and pick them up and take them to school. They've been let go.
Oh, they shut it down.
They shut that down.
So apparently, what it comes down to is they don't really
care.
They don't really care.
They don't care. You want to say you care for all of the, you know, you care about the children, you care about the children, but all of these things are happening, you're going to have the kids hanging out on the street, and no one's being held responsible to take them back into the school system. I mean, into the school. When I was in school, that thing worked. I have friends of mine that always, were coming to school late. Like, oh, I got picked up by truancy, huh? We made a joke about it, but they were very effective. And now that doesn't exist. So.
And in a place with so much crime, you got to get the kids off the street as soon as you can. As soon as you see them there, just get them to school.
Yeah, because
keep them safe that way.
It's not. I don't believe that the kids don't want to go to school. I believe it's, for me personally, I just think that you see your friends do and you just follow along with it. It's cool to be, not going the right path when you're a kid and you're a teenager. So I understand that. But at the same time, it's like you're taking away the things that's supposed to enrich and enhance these children's future.
This is the American dream.
This is the American dream.
Yeah, the American dream is a school in your neighborhood, which is, 95% of America. But you get these neighborhoods, you get Camden, you get here, and for whatever reason, these are the community. Well, for whatever reason, because they're challenged communities, they're going to get deprived of the thing that could strengthen them.
Poor neighborhoods in Portland,
So,
New York City, Maryland.
Yeah, there's something
about Maryland on the way.
So broken.
Yeah, I think there's a universal thing though. It's being attacked into certain urban areas. So when you stop to think about that, it's like, what is the purpose of that? Why are you targeting? I have my own personal feelings about that I won't go into, but there is a reason why these places are being targeted.
Well, we can talk about it. We talked about it outside, which is that school forms community. And if you can break that up, because people, when they band together, they have power. If you break that band, you break that community, then those people don't have as much power. So I think that people probably in power are afraid that the poor folks are going to get mad and exercise their power. So how do you stop that? You stop it by making it more difficult for them to organize.
Right.
If they don't have the school, they don't know the other parents, it's going to be more difficult. There's no question that the higher up powers are afraid that as they take away more and more services, more and more things that are available to people, that poor people are going to say, what the heck is going on? If they don't have a way to organize and make noise, then they can't fight it. And that those people who are in those positions where they want to say, what's going on, food stamps, all these programs getting cut.
Yeah.
If you can't get a big enough voice to fight it, then you lose, and that's what they want. They want to win. They want poor folks to lose.
That's what's been happening, because the state has their hands so tight around certain things with the educational system, and it's been happening like that for a while.
Does Newark have any representation from NAACP?
Yes, we do. We have an NAACP chapter here.
Because North Carolina, I went down there for the Moral Mondays, and I think if you reach out to your NAACP, they might help.
They are helping.
And they are helping.
We've already, the NAACP has made their side very well known.
And
Yeah, and they have national level
Yeah.
attorneys that
It's,
do what they need to do.
they're doing what they do. I can't speak on that fully about what they're doing, but they're very well aware of what's going on to us in our city, and they are taking action.
But they can help you get more people out. If you're actually going to have an action, they would
Absolutely.
help you get people out.
You know, we're joining forces with a lot of organizations right now. You know, as I said, this is all brand new to me. You know, so I feel like David and Goliath here. You know what I mean? Because I've been active in this, you know, office position actively for about 4 months. So this is I'm learning calculus right now as a 10-year-old.
But you got to come out.
But
swinging.
I am swinging. I am swinging.
And they're swinging at you. One
Yeah.
of the things we were talking about before we came inside was your Twitter account.
Yeah.
Tweeted out about Michelle Obama visiting Maple Ave Elementary School this past Thursday, and your Twitter account seemed to have vanished.
Yeah, it was magically suspended for some reason. I don't know why, but yeah, I went to go put another tweet up, and it said your account has been suspended. And I was like, wow.
There have to be pictures of her at the school, right?
They're online.
Oh yeah, I'd pump those out.
Oh,
This
yeah.
is the school they want to close. This is the school they want to close.
This is the pictures I got to put onto a Twitter account. I got off Google. I didn't take them.
Okay,
You know what I mean?
we'll go find those. We'll
What
push
did
those out a
First
little
Lady
bit too. Yeah.
Obama say about?
Yeah, what did she say
Maple
in the
Ave.
speech? Do you remember anything?
Yeah, she was just saying how excellent of a school it was, and how the principal was doing a great job, and you know that these kids can make it. You know, they have potential like everyone else has potential. You know, so you know that was pretty much it. I mean, it was much more, but she was just saying what a great school it is. You know, and I will say what I said on Twitter. If the school was good enough to keep for Michelle Obama to come, the First Lady to come, why can it not be good enough for the students that are here now? You know, it's the same school. It hasn't changed. You know, so it should be good enough for the students.
We're going to get her to say that.
That'll be great. That'll be great. But
start poking her. She's on Twitter.
yeah, she's on Twitter.
Yeah, she's on Twitter.
But yeah, it just magically was suspended.
Yeah, so you put up a new, we can just say on here. So
Yeah, the
you
new
put
Twitter.
up a new Twitter.
The new Twitter is at Maple Unites on Twitter, and the Facebook is Maple Ave School, one word. The next word is Unites. So Maple Ave School Unites.
Well, hopefully, we'll tweet it out too, so people can follow it, and hopefully we can get people to make some noise like we did for Chicago, because we poked a lot of people to support Chicago when they started trying to close the schools there. That was really frustrating. It's really frustrating.
Right.
But we make some noise.
And we hope that Badass Teachers Association participates more in this fight here in Newark. I know New Jersey Badass Teachers Association is in the fight for you guys here.
Yeah, they are.
And on Twitter, it's NJBATSA. So, yeah, you have a lot of people on your side.
Yeah, I'm realizing that, and I'm kind of I'm just realizing how much of an impact this is having on people. Just even if you don't have any children in school, even if you didn't go to public school, whatever, it's an injustice to people's civil rights, to children's civil, and everyone has the right.
Yeah.
to get education.
You know, and I'm just thinking of the little things, and this is going to sound like nothing, but the little things that you can bring up, which is that that the people who are bringing their kids to this charter, if they put this charter here, they're going to be driving into your neighborhood. Okay, right now you've got foot traffic from the kids are going to school, walking to school and back.
Right.
Those kids are going to need to get picked up, or they're going to get buses or vans or cars or whatever,
Right.
in a neighborhood that was otherwise pretty sedentary, right, and mellow.
Yeah.
And now it's going to change it to something completely different. You got so many issues you can bring up.
Yeah, well, it's a form of, you know, and even the kids that if they leave here and have to go somewhere else, you know, if they don't have the opportunity to go to school here in our ward, that's a huge feeling of alienation, you know, feeling ostracized. I don't know about you guys, but I know when, you know, you start off in a new school, you know, as a freshman or whatever, you feel very different. You don't feel like you belong. And for kids that's being ripped away from their home, their school, you know, and going to place somewhere else, you know, just because someone feels this is what they should do, you know, and then they're expected to get there on time and perform well.
And
you don't know how that's
parent involvement. Like, see here, if you got, you know, you got a function at the school, parents, you got somebody who's working nights or whatever, they can go over to the school and help out. The school's miles away. There's so much you're going to lose.
You lose family, and I keep going back to that word, but you lose this sense of family and community when this happens. If this happens, not going to happen.
Not going to happen.
But you know, it's yeah.
All right, well, good luck
Thank
to
you.
you.
Thank
And
you.
we'll
I
do what we
appreciate
can to make some noise.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Would you have a message for Governor Christie? Come on, Hassan, you can say something.
My message to Governor Christie is simple. Give us back our school system. Give us back our control. Let our community, let our city dictate what goes on in our school system. Simple as that.
Okay.
Right,
Thank you so
excellent.
much.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Appreciate it.
That's great.
Thank you.